Okay, well, welcome everybody. Let me just share my slides. So we are very excited to be with you this morning to share all about the power of solution-focused group coaching supervision. So we have, well, four of the five of us joining today. Unfortunately, Svea is based in South Africa and having electricity blackout, so isn't able to be here today. But let me hand over to my team to introduce. Kirsten, over to you. Just want to say a short couple of words and then hand to Libby.
I'm Kirsten. I have many letters behind my name, as you can see. I'm the owner and founder of Solutions Academy based in Germany, but it's an international coach training school accredited by the International Coaching Federation and by the EMCC. And I am currently in Spain. And I'm passing over to Debbie.
Debbie Hoken, based in Singapore, also have an ICF accredited coaching program. I'm a MCC coach with ICF and a team coach, accredited team coach, and master prac and I'm tongue-tied, accredited accredited supervisor with the EMCC. Christina, please take over.
Thank you very much, Debbie. Hello, everyone. Christina Müller here, right now in Spain, but usually you would find me in Germany. What I would say about myself, just to give you a glimpse, leave the letters on the slide. You can see them yourself. Besides having a role of a trainer, mentor, coach, supervisor, and so on, I do volunteer with ICF also, and currently I'm the ICF Germany president. So if you have any curiosity about how supervision is positioned inside ICF, more than happy to share, as I was also part of the work group that developed the ICF coaching supervision competencies. Jane, would you like to close the loop then?
I will. Welcome everybody. So I'm Jane Tomala from the UK originally, but I have been in Singapore for the last 12 years, although I'm currently joining today from Bintan, Indonesia, where I'm on holiday with my family. And I have my own company, but I also work with Kirsten, Debbie, and Christina at Solutions Academy and Academy of Solution Focused Training. So my particular passion is supervision and helping both therapists and coaches develop and be their best through supervision. So we are very excited to host this session today. So I'm not going to talk very much. We really wanted today to be an experience of group supervision, but I will share a little bit about how this works, and then we will go into small breakout rooms and everybody will get a chance to be in the supervision group. So I just wanted to share a little bit. I mean, I do individual and group supervision, but I think there's such a magic to group supervision. When you bring so many people together, there's just so much wisdom and knowledge and diversity in the group. You know, many heads are better than one, so to speak. But also, I think as coaches, you know, we often work individually. I'm in a room talking to my individual client, and we can often think we're the only ones struggling with a particular issue. And so I think there's a huge value in meeting as a group to really normalize all the things that we kind of go through in our journey as coaches. So hopefully today you will get a taste of a bit of the magic of group supervision. So there are lots of ways of doing supervision. Obviously, we're taking the solution-focused stance. And this is a particular way of working in a group, which is called the reflecting team model. So this comes originally from Harry Norman and colleagues in Bristol from the therapy world. So we've just adapted this to work with coaches. So what it is like a series of different rounds. So there's 6 rounds. I will just share each of those. And I don't know if Christina, Debbie, or Kirsten, if you could pop the document in the chat while we're talking. If not, I will do that afterwards. Thanks, Christina.
My way.
Thank you. So obviously, I want you also to be thinking, we obviously need some people to present a piece of work during this. When we go, we'll have 4 small groups. And so you can bring it might be a case that you're working with that you would like some advice on, or any other kind of work-related issue, maybe a team issue, or a work-life balance issue, anything that you would value some help with. So if you're the presenter, then what we do is ask you to start with, what are your best hopes from the discussion? What would you like the group to help you with? So you ask your question, what you would like help with. Then you share a little bit about what the issue is. So as much information that is relevant to help the team, help you with that issue. So it doesn't mean necessarily every single thing you've done with that client, but whatever the group needs to know to help you with your question. Then each of the team has a chance to clarify, so to check they've really understood everything, that they have the information they need to be able to answer the presenter's questions. So everybody in the group can share and so ask the presenter questions. And at this point, it's not about sort of guidance or giving, have you tried, have you done this, but just helping understand the request from the presenter. And then we have a lovely round of affirmations. So once the presenter has shared their issue, each person in the group will share something that they've been impressed by listening to that story. And at that point, this can be quite hard, especially in the Asian cultural context where I'm based. Compliments can be quite hard. It's not the cultural norm. Modesty is quite important. Same in the UK where I'm from. The normal sort of reaction to a compliment is to self-denigrate. But in this, the presenter just needs to listen and say thank you to each piece of feedback. And then we go around and share ideas. So each team member can offer one observation, idea, something that might be helpful to answer the presenter's question, which may be, well, this is what I tried in a similar situation. It may be sort of technical advice. It may be a metaphor or poetry or a story, anything that you think would be helpful to help the presenter with their question. And during this point, the person who's presenting just remains silent, obviously can take notes as you're listening. And then we finish off with the presenter saying, you know, responding to what has been said, thanking everybody, and summarize what they're taking away, what was useful for them from that presentation, what they then might do differently, either with that client or with whatever situation they're currently struggling with. So that normally would take, depending on the size of the group, maybe 35, 40 minutes. So that's why we wanted to really kick off, get straight into this. So what I'll leave, instead of having questions at this point, well, Christina, if you could set up the breakout rooms just while I'm finishing off, thank you very much. If you have any questions, then I would suggest you ask whoever's the person taking care of your group when we go into the breakout room. So what we will do, so like I said, we need one person to present a case. Everybody else in the group will be part of the reflecting team, and each room will have a facilitator to keep track of the process. And just in terms of taking care of confidentiality, we won't be recording the small group conversations. So once I've finished talking, I will stop the recording, but then we will all come back together at the end to have a quick debrief, and I will record that part of the session, but we won't be recording the small groups. Okay, so that is it from me. Okay, so have we, let me just stop the recording. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I hope everybody had a wonderful group. Johanna brought a wonderful situation that our group learned. Well, she took something from, we all did as well. So hopefully, and that's what I love about supervision. It's such a rich process that even if you're not presenting, everybody can take away something useful. So we just want to do a little debrief. So not so much on the content, but partly also on the process. So let me just share my slide. So I'd love to hear, so some of you may, well, I know some of you in this group are experienced supervisors, have written about supervision. Some of you, this may have been the first time you've ever been part of a reflecting team. So I'd love to open it to the group. I'll put these questions in the chat as well. What did you learn? What surprised you from doing that? What do you think was helpful from the presenter's point of view? What was helpful from the team's point of view? And how might you take these ideas forward in your own practice? So we'll just have maybe 3 or 4 minutes of sharing, because I have one kind of final slide to share before we finish, but would love to hear from everybody. I've popped the questions in the chat. What did you guys learn from that? What was useful? So just raise that, either unmute or just raise your hand icon, and I will come to you in order.
All right, I'll dive in because I got to be a
Thanks,
presenter,
Alan.
Jane,
Yeah.
for my group. What I learned, it is always good to not so much learn as relearn, that actually people are all there with you, and they go, yep, we see you, we see the things that you're doing, and yep, we've been there as well. And that's always affirming in and of itself. So I had a very, very supportive group to share the ideas around. So, and it's nice to hear things that I had thought, but also some new things. So ideas that I'd gone, maybe have a look at that, and have you go, well, you maybe thought about this sort of thing. Actually, yes, I have. But it's nice that it wasn't just me thinking that other people said, there could be some possibilities there. You go, oh, maybe I might be brave enough to have a play with that sort of thing. So yeah, that was great.
Wonderful. I think you've done a lovely summary there of the value of a group process, both that affirmation and validation and new possibilities at the same time, that I guess through that affirmation, we then feel brave enough to consider or relook at. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Who else would like to share? Annette.
It always amazes me when you provide a safe space for people to share their topic. They work it out, and it's just the way we hold the space for them, and particularly being solution focused and looking for what we appreciate and affirming. It just always reaffirms that we all need this space to work things out, but for ourselves and what's going to be the best way for us. And I just think it does it beautifully in a group like that.
Absolutely. I think that's what I like about SF, that while we might all give suggestions, it's that giving suggestions without attachment. We're not coming in as experts going, you should do this is how you should fix your problem, but we're giving you the space to figure out what is it you want, what, if anything, was useful to you, so it's really handing that expertise to whoever's presenting, and you're right, they figure it out. Yeah. Thank you. Maybe one more sharing, because I do want to make sure we finish on time for everybody who wants to get to the next session, but maybe one more sharing and then I'll finish off with a slide. Or maybe somebody, I think, because we've had two different groups, is there somebody from the third group that hasn't shared that somebody would like to share?
I presented, and I don't know whether we were the third group, but it was, I guess for me, I work as a consultant, and I work, I'm a one-man band, so having a bit of space to just reflect and think about things, and a bit of peer support, and but yeah, it was a useful process for me. Definitely got some ideas and things that I wouldn't have had without just swimming around in my own brain.
Absolutely. So yeah, wonderful sharing of ideas. And I think you're right, because a lot of us, we do one-on-one work. That's what we do as coaches. That's what we do as therapists, and just having that, being surrounded by others and other wonderful ideas. So great. I'm so glad everybody found it helpful. Yeah, sure.
If I can, I have one more comment that just occurred to me, how the format of the reflecting team really creates a space between supervisee and supervising group that is about the supervision client. Because I know in other group supervisions, it's often about analyzing the supervision client's client. So it really helps us to stay clean and talk about what does our supervision client, the case donor, what do they need at this point, and stay out of explanation and useless exploration of the supervision client's client who we don't know. So it really keeps us safe in a sense of doing useful things and out of speculation that is
not getting stuck in analyzing. Yeah. Thank you, Kirsten. Okay, so just one more slide to share. So the reason we did this today, so Kirsten, Debbie, Christina, and I, along with Svea van der Horn, who couldn't be here today. So we teach a course on coaching supervision, and we wrote a book on it. So this came from the chapter on group supervision. So obviously the reflecting team is only one way of doing solution-focused group supervision. We have lots of other ideas in there, but we also have a transcript that's annotated on what did we do, what were we thinking, how do we sort of organize the process. So if anybody's interested, you can read more there. And then, so the slides we'll make available, obviously, with the recording to the SF24 team, who can share that all with you. So we're very happy to share all of that. And just to say a huge thank you for being with us this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are, whatever time of day. It's been absolutely, I always love supervising. I get so much of it out of it as a supervisor and the group discussion. So have a wonderful rest of the conference, whatever you're heading to next, and have a great day. Take care.